I bet with Interbet only. They're a fantastic site. I've never had any issues with them. They are very professional. There's never a problem. You deposit money, 2 seconds later it's in your account. You withdraw, which I do very occasionally, and I believe it's also 2 seconds it's in your account.
Moving along to race number 3 on the program, the start of the Pick 6 1900 meters. The distance for this fillies and mares 76 handicap, 13:35 is the off time. Bosney 4-1 into 33-10. It is 9-2 about Blazing Astute, 5-1 about Sea Goddess, 6-1 Reckless Love, 8-1 and Better Bar. Those now. This 3-year-old daughter of Patala Palace, Bosney, she's found the early support. Once again, Richard Fourie for Daryl Moore. Interesting. Muzieni is ridden in her last 2 starts, and she now tries the extra. Interesting to see how she goes. I'm not convinced that she'll see out the distance. She's a filly that really needs to settle in the running. Well, she is not going to put her best foot forward. And Warren, I've discounted this filly's chances. I haven't included her in the place accumulator. I just can't see her stay 1900 meters given her running style. And I can't see a lot of pace in the race to give me enough confidence to say that she is going to settle in running, which will sort of help us out the 1900. Richard Fourie is obviously a huge positive engagement here, but this filly needs to do things right by herself rather than a jockey being able to help her. So if she settles in running, she's obviously going to be a massive runner, but I just can't see it happening, especially over 1900 meters.
Yeah, you've got a very valid point, Raheel, hugely valid point. But I'm hopeful that the good draw, she's had some horrid draws, in the past. She's been drawn very wide, 12 out of 14, 12 out of 14, 13 out of 14. So those wide draws haven't helped. I know her last couple of starts she's been drawn a lot better, and today she's also drawn a lot better. So you just got to hope that a couple come round her and are able to cover her up, and Richard Fourie is able to get her to settle, because you're right, that's a very valid point. I wouldn't read too much into her last run, because she was settled out very early in her last start and managed to still hold on and run 1.85 lengths to Petit Verdot. But yeah, you're quite right. There is a concern about the settling. She is a bit of a fighter. I'm going to be hopeful that she does settle and that Richard Fourie can do the job, and the kind draw will help. Because if you look at her form, she's run to Secret Identity, Mrs. Geriatrics, Bavarian Beauty, Foreshore, Bomber Girl. If any of those horses were in this race, they'd be 1 to 100. So I certainly respect and understand your concerns. I'm prepared to take a bit of a chance and be with her against those concerns. But it's nowhere near as easy as that. A horse like number 12, Aquasulis, has been dropping in the ratings, never too far off the action. She can certainly make her presence felt. Number 8, What's Up Buttercup, is my value at around 14 to 1. It wasn't a bad post-maiden run. So, yeah, there are many others that have got chances. Blazing Astute, Sea Goddess, and we can go on and on and on. But I'm going to take a chance with Bosney and hope that she behaves. If she doesn't behave, well then we're done. But it's all about a gamble, and that's what I'm taking.
I'm glad you mentioned number 12, Aquasulis, because I think despite this filly being low on confidence, 688 days since she last tasted success, she's, as you mentioned, she's dropped in the ratings, and she's a 6-time winner that only carries 54 kgs on the back, and her course and distance form is very, very good. She runs the best races at Hollywoodbets Greyville on the turf, and she hasn't been on the turf for some time. The last time she was on the turf track here at Hollywoodbets Greyville, she happened to run third behind Rocky Reef, beaten 1.5 lengths. So I thought that was a very pleasing run, and that was when she was on a mark of 85. So that was some time ago, early on in the year. And if she can sort of recapture some of that form back onto the turf, I think she'll be a huge runner. Number 5, Sea Goddess, definitely one to include into the mix. She'll enjoy the step back up in trip to 1900 meters. And then number 9, Reckless Love, who is possibly better on the turf, or better on the poly rather, but she's running in some good consistent form, so she's worth an inclusion as well for me. So 5, 9 and 12, but order of preference would be number 12, my top selection in this contest, at around 8-1 in the market. And you heard from Warren, number 2 Bosney, he's going to be with that filly, and hopefully she can settle in the running. Richard Fourie can get the best out of her and she can go close to getting that second career victory. So maybe 2 and 12 horses that you can play around, play some swingers and exactors with in the third race on the program. And it is a race where if you manage to get it right, get a couple of lurkers for those third and fourth position, I think the quartet could be a fair dividend.
My name's Danny Diliberto, founder of Ladles of Love. It was founded back in 2014. Communities we work with are all over the peninsula, and we're working with 138 beneficiaries now. We've grown exponentially. We've been able to do that because of all the kindness that we have experienced from individuals and corporates such as Interbet, who just want to be part of the change.